Welcome everyone to the joy of laser. You can laser that, the many ways to use your laser. But before we begin, I have to go over our disclaimer. I have to read it verbatim, so here it goes. Contents in this presentation is solely the presenter's opinion only. That's me. So this presentation is for entertainment purposes and not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or health condition. All conditions are presented as a possible suggestion and not to be a substitute for visiting your physician before starting laser therapy treatments. There, that's it for the disclaimer. Now we can start the joy of laser. What will we cover today? I will reveal exciting conditions to use with your laser. I will also cover some unique cases in both humans and animals. And I will also provide some resources to help launch your laser business. As we begin, who is Dr. Youkey? That's me. I have 41 years of pet industry experience and currently sell over 21 lasers from 8 companies. I lecture around the world on how to choose your laser, and I've appeared on many news channels, as well as authored several books on laser therapy. And I also launched the rental laser revolution about 10 years ago, and now I'm helping veterinarians, practitioners, and pet owners to select the right laser for your practice and budget. But I also like to have a little bit of fun along the way too. Let's go over some precautions and contraindications, and there's only a few of them. First one is pregnancy. It's not that it's dangerous, but there's simply not enough studies that says it is, so we like to err on the side of caution and not laser directly over that developing baby. And also the pacemaker. Because some lasers have magnetic therapy built into them, you want to stay 5 inches away from a pacemaker or anything that may be affected by a magnetic field. Cancer. Currently, no laser company will endorse the use of laser in the presence of cancer, although this may change in the future because there's more studies coming out that proves that laser and acupuncture both help stimulate the body's own immune system to help fight the cancer. So hopefully in the future, this contraindication will change. You also want to avoid shining the laser light right into the eye. Now with the multi-radiance medical lasers, you actually have a 30-second safety factor, which is very helpful. You also want to limit lasering directly over your thyroids to about 5 minutes. Once again, it's not because it's dangerous, but there simply is not enough studies to say that it's safe. So let's err on the side of caution and limit the thyroids to 5 minutes. And finally, you want to make sure that any active bleeding is stopped. This is because some frequencies will bring in more circulation into the area. So we don't want our patients to bleed out. That's it for the precautions. This is a very small list compared to regular drugs, which can be pages and pages of warnings. Let's get into the heart of this lecture. What conditions can you use lasers for? Did you know that there are over 300 different conditions? Now, I didn't list them all because the font's going to get so small, but I'll cover a few of them in the next few slides, and just look for your favorite disease process from this short list and know that you can laser your patients and help them. Let's watch this short video on some common conditions. Isn't this exciting? So many ways to use your laser. Well, here's another short video to reveal even more ways that you can use with your laser. These lasers are super easy to use because you can learn how to use them in under 5 minutes. There's no joules per centimeter squared to calculate, and MRM lasers are time-based lasers. For example, 5 minutes to stop pain, 2 minutes to heal, and 15 to 60 seconds for acupuncture points. There's no worry with these Class 1 lasers as they can never get hot. There's also no need for goggles with Class 1 lasers. Once again, no need for that joules per centimeter squares to calculate because you're not going to cause any cell death with these lasers. It never gets hot because it's a do no harm laser. And Class 4 lasers do get hot and you do need goggles. Arthritis and pain control. This is the most common reason to laser and to send home a rentable laser. Hotspots and lick granuloma is another very common condition. You treat them with your laser. And if you have the laser with the blue light, laser them to help decrease that bacterial load and to fight MRSA as well. And use that circle the dragon technique with the probes if you're familiar with this method. Partially torn ACLs can be helped with laser therapy. It's a great alternative to surgery, especially in patients who are not candidates for surgery or it may be cost prohibitive. You can also use it with or without a brace to stabilize the joint depending on the severity of the case. And this is also a candidate for rental lasers as the patient will need long-term daily treatments with the laser. Lasers also help fight the opioid epidemic by providing pain relief without the addictive pain pills. Here's a partially torn Achilles tendon case which appeared in the news. Let's watch.
Today, members of a Solon medical device company called Multi-Radiance Medical took part in congressional hearings about using light therapy as a replacement for opioid painkillers.
The technology has been around for years, but it's gaining in popularity, not only to help manage pain, but to heal it from the source.
Channel 3's Monica Robbins is here now with how it works and why it's another weapon in fighting the opioid epidemic. Monica, good evening.
Hi, Russ and Sarah. Yeah, those who suffer from chronic pain know medication may help the pain go away, but it doesn't fix the cause of the pain. That's the difference between medication and low-level light therapy. It may do both. Eric Schumacher retired from his assistant football coaching position at Massillon High School 5 years ago. He understands aches and pains, but the pain in his partially torn Achilles tendon was something else.
Hot sensation. At times it would be a stabbing sensation.
He had no interest in taking pain meds like opioids, so when he found Canton chiropractor Dr. Brett Ungar, he was thrilled to learn how a laser could help his body heal itself.
Non-invasive, extremely safe. There's very little, if any, side effects, and it's highly effective and great clinical outcomes.
Multi-Radiance Medical makes the device. It's used by most professional sports teams, college athletes, and some high schools too. But anyone suffering from muscle and joint pain, arthritis, neck, or back pain might benefit.
This uses visible and infrared light, which is safe for the body. And we make sure that the device is safe for the eye, so it's not bright, it's not going to cause any damage to your eye, so the patient can actually take it home and apply the therapy themselves.
The laser's smart, too. Based on the speed it takes for the light to get from one electrode to the other, the device can essentially tell exactly where the injury is located, then stimulate the cells around it. So how does it work? Well, think of it like giving an energy drink to your cells, especially where it hurts. So you put the laser on your arm, it kind of slaps those cells awake so they get to business and start healing. Eric noticed a difference in 4 visits. That's what kept him coming back.
15 treatments and no pain whatsoever now.
Next is a case of bilateral hind limb paralysis after being bitten by a dog. You can see the puncture wound right there in this cat. Now the owner did not have the funds for surgery, so we opted to use only the laser. Let's watch the before video. You can see the cat dragging both hind legs across the floor. The cat had no deep pain, no feeling of any pain, even to the tip of the tail. Nothing at all. Now, let's look at this after video of the same cat after about a month of daily lasering. Now, it's amazing to see such great progress without having to resort to surgery. This is the beauty and the power of laser therapy. Now, blue light has been proven to kill bacteria and MRSA. So some laser models have the blue light radiance that kills both bacteria and MRSA. The 470 nanometer blue has the most studies available, and it takes just 100 seconds to kill bacteria. Lasers do a beautiful job in healing wounds, and we see this horrific wound here on this horse, and I'm not sure why horses like to hurt themselves so well, but using laser alone, you can see how beautifully the wound is repairing. In Thailand, there are many abandoned dogs, and here we see one with a head wound that was filled with maggots. After debridement, the laser therapy was immediately started, and you can see how the wound is starting to close with self-intention, and every few days the wound keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller until it is all healed. And here we can see the dog getting the laser treatment, and luckily this dog was adopted out by the caregiver and found a forever home. I have more before and after cases. Now, this horrific wound on a horse was caused by a nail on a fence that snagged the hide and ripped it open while the horse was running through. So after debridement, the first vet said, "We've got to put this horse down because the wound is located in a place of such great movement that he didn't think it was going to heal." Yet, luckily for this horse, the second vet said, "Let's try the laser to see what would happen." So they measured it and kept lasering every single day. And much to the surprise even for the vet, the wound was healing faster than predicted. In fact, even though it was in an area of high movement, the wound did close after all. And it was a very good thing because this is a cutting horse champion and was able to go back to competing. Hoof wounds. Here is a hoof wound in a veterinarian's own horse. Now, she's not too sure what happened out there, but the vet did find her horse with this wound on that hoof wall. You can see all that vasculature that's revealed right above that hoof. It looks very painful. So, this is the picture she took on day 17. What she did was she lasered every single day, and on day 17, the horse was sound enough to be ridden again. Once again, the wound healed at a rate that was much faster than what even the vet predicted. Multi-Radiance Medical has been in the news helping burn victims down under, and I want to share a clip from the news broadcast. Let's watch this now.
Experts estimate at least 1 billion animals have died in those bushfires, and many more have been injured.
Brandon Simmons shows us how a company in Solon is pitching in to help wounded koalas.
When you actually go to fly in and you can see how devastated not only the land is, but what it's done in displacing so many animals from their homes. It is a national tragedy that they're dealing with right now.
The wildfires spreading across Australia have had tragic effects, to say the least. 27 people have been killed and more than 1 billion animals have lost their lives as the fires spread across more than 32,000 square miles, nearly the size of Indiana. While many animals have perished, there are also stories of survival. Some of those stories coming courtesy technology made right here in Northeast Ohio.
When we had the opportunity to kind of get involved with the brush fire victims, it got us very excited and wanting to be part of that.
Douglas Johnson is Senior Vice President at Multi-Radiance Medical, a Solon-based company for the last 16 years. They've developed handheld laser technology designed to expedite healing and reduce pain in humans and animals alike. When it comes to burn injuries, like many animals in Australia have suffered, the lasers can help heal in weeks instead of months.
And when we start to do laser therapy, we can cut that time sometimes in half, and sometimes even in just 2 to 3 weeks, we can actually get good covering of that skin that now it becomes a protective barrier.
Burns in particular are more painful than most wounds, but the lasers provide immediate relief to some extent. The devices are painless to use and are already used in veterinary clinics and zoos around the world to treat all types of animals. Today, this local company is just proud to contribute to another nation's healing.
Our goal is to actually be able to treat just about every animal on the earth if we can.
In Solon, I'm Brandon Simmons, 3 News.
I think it's wonderful how Multi-Radiance Medical are helping animals around the world. So let's keep on going. Laser therapy totally shines when it comes to burns. Now, this is a very severe burn with just a second on that barbecue grill. And this is 4 days later. The doctors were shocked at the progress because they told the patient it's going to take a minimum of 6 weeks. This is 4 days. And did you know that even dolphins can get sunburn? I can see that Dr. Chavez here wanted to see how well the lasers worked. So she lasered on one side of the sunburn and left the other side alone. And you can see on day 1 all the sunburn wounds. And then she took a picture on day 7. And here's day 9. It's healing very well. And on the other side, this is day 1. But at day 7, 1 and at day 10, the side without the laser was not healing as well, so she felt so bad that she ended up lasering both sides anyway. She saw enough to see that the lasered side helped to heal in half the time. This is an amazing equine burn case because there was a barn fire. You can see the damage on this brown horse's hide. Yes, I said this is brown. Unfortunately, it looks like beef jerky, and this is the rear end. There's so much damage, and so the laser was started immediately. But we're gonna jump as the owner did not take very many pictures, but you can see how well this horse is recovering. Look at this remarkable change on the rear of this horse. This is the power of laser therapy. Now this is another horse in the same barn. Once again, you can see how severely the hide is burnt. Now this is a black and white horse. All the hair and the layers of the skin have been burnt off. And here you can see that it is indeed a black and white horse, and you can see the laser being used. We continue with this black and white horse, and here we're going to show you the before. And look, the fur is growing back. Yes, even the pattern's growing back. The laser is working great to help heal and stop that horrendous pain. So once again, the horrific before. And now you can see that the coat is coming back. This is so amazing that the lasers can help treat horrific burns such as this. Degenerative joint disease and compressed bulging discs that can actually compress the nerves and pinch the nerves. These can all be helped with laser therapy, and this is an effective alternative to invasive surgery. They did laser this patient daily for about 2 months, every single day. You can see the before picture affecting the limbs from that compressed disc. The leg keeps on collapsing. You can see it as they come back also. That leg just gives out because the bulging disc is pinching on them. But you're gonna see shortly, look at this.
Otra vueltecita. Vete.
I love how the after shows how much better the dog can walk even without resorting to surgery. So lasers can definitely help these patients. You can use laser on acupuncture and acupressure points. You can use the existing points that you may have been learning or have already learned. And there are many useful books and charts and apps that can help guide you. The optional acupuncture probes allows you to perform laser acupuncture without needles. And the treatment times are very fast, from between 15 to 60 seconds a point. That's much faster than traditional needles. This is a quick review for laser acupuncture protocols. I use 50 Hertz if I'm tonifying or stimulating, but I'll use 1000 Hertz if I'm sedating or inhibiting for pain. It's a quick 15 to 60 seconds a point. I'll repeat it depending on the patient's reaction and the condition. But most importantly, you don't want to push down. You only need to place it right on the fur and let the power of the laser light do the job. You can also use, along with needles, electric acupuncture, or other modalities. These laser acupunctures are extremely versatile. Lasers are perfect for preventive medicine, especially if you're going to use thermography. Now, I use thermography to prevent where an outbreak is about to happen. You can use this because, see this dog? I know this dog, it has a tendency to chew on that front paw. And right now, there's no apparent lesions. However, When I use the thermography camera, I can see how hot the top of her legs are, so I can show this to the owner and say, look at this, the dog's about to chew on her feet again. Why don't we laser to prevent this from happening? But I also bet you're wondering that thermography can be expensive because you've seen them for sale for $16,000 at some veterinary shows. Well, that's not true, because here's an example of one that I use. In fact, that's the previous picture. It's a FLIR one for Apple iPhones. It's under $400, so you don't have to pay $16,000 for a camera that shows you the basics. I just need to show where it's hot. I don't need to do a lot of detail, but what's really cool about this camera is that it also shows you where your rats are living in your walls. Ew. Lasers can improve performance and give athletes that edge to win. So it's easy to scan along the muscles in both equine and canine competitors and even humans. But you don't want to laser over 10 minutes over the entire body, or the athlete will become too relaxed. Lasers can also help to recover from strained and sore muscles after the competition. You just simply scan out those muscles again on the competitors, paying a special attention to limbs and ligaments that may have become strained during the competition. I also laser between every bandage change. I use 50 Hz for 2 minutes, and you can help to combat bacteria MRSA if you have the laser with the blue light. I like to repeat this with every bandage change, but the bandage must be off to be able to laser. Ear infections! Yes, painful ears can be successfully treated with a laser. I use 1,000 to 3,000 Hz if there's pain and swelling for 5 minutes, and of course that blue light to kill bacteria and MRSA. For diarrhea, I use this protocol, 1,000, 3,000 Hz to unwind, and then I like to laser right over the abdomen at a slow 1 centimeter per second sweep. If you can, it's nice to laser every 4 hours. If you cannot, I understand that as well. I do administer my regular fluids and medications, and here are the acupuncture points that I use along with it. I won't say them all, but stomach 25, stomach 36, on and on. For marathon runners, I have a favorite recipe because you can help to decrease that lactic acid buildup after the race using this following recipe. Now I use 1,000 Hz, 1,000 to 3,000, and then 5,000 Hz at 2 minutes each. That is a wonderful recipe to use after any kind of exercise. Laser massage is like a normal massage on steroids because it combines the benefits of laser therapy along with massage. Now, I do like to use Dome Probe because it helps to glide easily over the body. I use 1,000 Hz in a circular massaging motion, but not more than 40 minutes total. You want to go under that? Now, let's watch this video. Anxiety and stress. Yes, you can help reduce them both with laser therapy. Use 50 Hz on these acupuncture points, and here are the points. TMJ can be a painful condition, and there are recent studies that shows lasers can effectively treat this condition. You use a laser right over the TMJ joint to help loosen them up. Do you have a patient with a weakened urinary sphincter muscles? Did you know that lasers can help to tone them up? You start with that unwind therapy and use that acupuncture probe at 50 Hz on these points to help tone up that urinary sphincter muscle. Phantom limb pain. Have you ever wondered if animals experience this too? We know that humans do, so why not provide the animals with the pain relief as well? I want you to watch this video.
Hello, my name is Stephen Cantwell. I'm 28 years old. I'm from Texas. On June 4th, I was coming home from the gym on my motorcycle. Just a normal day. I was going home to get ready to go to work, and unfortunately a woman wasn't paying attention and made an illegal U-turn. It was unavoidable. I wound up running into her. At the time, I broke several ribs, collapsed my lung, and my right leg was completely crushed. When I went to the emergency room, they told me that they could save my leg, but in doing so, I would never be able to run or jump or hike. And being a former athlete, that just really wasn't acceptable. But at the time, listening to the doctors, they thought they could save my leg, so they did a reconstructive surgery on my leg, basically rebuilding my entire foot using bone grafts. For 6 months, different procedures, they tried to save it. I was sent to different neurologists, neurosurgeons. I was diagnosed with severe complex regional pain syndrome, as well as I was never able to move my toes again. And finally, after 6 months of trying to save my leg, the decision was made to amputate it, which at the time was a good idea for me to get back to the normal activities. Unfortunately, being that I did have CRPS, the nerve pain in my residual limb was pretty bad. I couldn't sleep at night, really couldn't do anything. The pain was just unbearable. That's when I was introduced to this Activate Pro. It's a laser that was given to me to use for the pain in my stump, and I used it every day, and within just 2 weeks of using it, the phantom pains were completely gone. I was able to sleep at night, so very grateful for that. I'm able to use my prosthetic leg without any pain. It's only been 2 months post amputation, and I can already walk pain-free. It's a good thing for me because ultimately my goal is to get back to doing 5Ks and to running marathons, and long-term goal would be to do an Ironman. And this laser has really made all the difference in the world. I recommend it to anybody who's having any type of any pain anywhere. It definitely has been a blessing and has really helped me get along with the recovery. So for anyone out there dealing with any type of adversity, any type of pain, never give up hope. There's always a way to get through it. For me personally, this multi-radiance laser has been a blessing and has really helped me to get back to my normal way of life.
Plantar fasciitis and foot pain affect many people, including me. I used 1,000 to 3,000 Hertz for 5 minutes, and here the generation rule applies. What's the generation rule, you ask? It's really simple. If you're in your 30s, it takes 3 weeks. So this condition is definitely a candidate for rental lasers because that plantar fasciitis, we're talking about a thick muscular area. Why not integrate essential oils to relieve headaches? So what you want to do is to laser both temples first for 2 minutes and then apply a drop of essential oil to your temples. Then you want to repeat with the laser to help absorb the oil. But be sure that the oil has completely dried before turning your head, because the oil vapors can be irritating to the eyes. Or if you are allergic to essential oil, please do not try this. Lasers can help boost your immune system, so that means that it can help to fight off many diseases, including the common cold. I use 50 hertz for this, and the utility probe to do the acupuncture points, and here are all your acupuncture points. These are dog points, there are cat points, and there are separate human points that you can look up in many books and charts. Diabetic neuropathy and nerve regeneration, it is one of the slowest to repair. So this condition needs repeated and frequent treatments. So it's definitely a candidate for the rental lasers. So I've been talking about rental lasers, and have you ever considered doing a rental laser business? Now you want to be sure that the laser that you choose is FDA cleared and approved to be used in the USA. You want to rent these lasers to your clients. That's increased revenue for you. And this booklet will help to launch your rental laser business because it's filled with marketing ideas. Now this booklet is completely free for Kindle Unlimited members on Amazon. And if you're wondering which laser to select, there is a free PDF guide available just for the asking. It's filled with the most frequently asked questions from laser purchasers, or if you prefer, you can also buy the booklet in print copy at Barnes & Noble, but really the easiest is to simply ask for this free PDF. There's lots more free tips on my Facebook blog. All you have to do is search for cold laser therapy for pets and people. You'll see that screen with the dog with the seagull wings on it. There are weekly posting of tips as well as protocols that are posted on there. So visit it frequently. Thank you again for watching this presentation. I hope that you got excited on all the many ways that you can use your laser. Obviously, I couldn't cover them all, but I wanted to share just a few samples of this amazing laser. Go help some patients, and happy lasering!